And hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody all over the world. My name is Days Cloud, and I'd like to welcome you to Game 4 of the ALTTPR League Season 2 playoffs here between WJPTBB on one side and Team Kappa on the other side here. As you can see, WJPTBB has a two games to one lead in this best of 5 race. We have JTB on one side going up against FEARAgent over on the other side. I'm going to be joined today in the booth by a Neon Tiger there. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing okay. How you doing, my friend?
Man, looking forward to this. This is we got an elimination match here, and if FEARAgent can go ahead and pull off this win, we're going to have a Game 5 immediately after this.
Oh boy, a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, just a bit. This is going to be a good time for sure.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see how this all shakes out.
Well, the mode for today is we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned all dungeons race here with assured swords, and that's about it. There's
I was gonna say going kind of low tech there, but still not necessarily the worst.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that way. We don't have to worry about keys or anything like this. This is purely a just who can go faster race. This is going to be a whole lot of fun to watch here, and we should get started just any time now. And here we go.
Where we go, yeah. Let's see what we got here from the get-go. Not a whole lot, just a big 20.
Oh man, the sprite choices there. So over on FEARAgent's side, it looks like he's going to be using his Minish Cap Link sprite. Now over on JTB's side, that's a cheap, isn't it?
Yeah. We got a cheap and Minish Cap Link.
Alright, that's a nice early find there for both of the runners as they're picking these things up in sync, because this is standard mode. The first thing that we're going to be looking for today is probably some bombs. And with the standard start here, we're always looking at about the same benchmarks for either runner here. Both runners going to be shooting to get through most of escape here in around 6 minutes here. If you can get under 6 minutes, you've had a very good escape. But at the same time, you're trying to manage whether or not you're going to be able to get any bombs, because you would rather not leave the 3 bombs in the 3 chests in the back of escape.
So as you would expect here, pretty early on, fairly neck and neck between these two. We'll see them likely hop out into the sanctuary at the same time.
Ooh, and we've had a fairy drop and a full magic jar drop from the soldiers so far, so that means that prize pack for the soldiers is going to have an 8 bomb drop here. So if they take a little bit of time to go ahead and do a little bit of farming, they will eventually get bombs. Moving down to the basement here, looks like JTB is going to go for more of the NMG strats here of trying to get the ball and chain guard from the bottom here. Taking a couple of hits, but getting the 8 that he needs to go ahead and get the big key and be able to rescue Zelda. FEARAgent having no problem there. They both got a small key. Now at this point, they're going to be really spending probably a little bit of extra time killing these green guards. Or perhaps not. Trying to find their bombs is the biggest thing.
Since we do have this as standard mode, we will see the magical torchlight coming up in just a moment.
And as predicted, there are the bomb packs for both JTB and FEARAgent, so they're going to be able to clear out all of Escape here in the first time without any problem. Good for them, because one of the worst things about doing a standard mode start is if the prize packs are also randomized. If the prize packs happen to be ones that don't contain bombs, it's just something that you're going to have to come back for. Luckily, not something we're going to be seeing today. All right, both runners there going to be making their way back. At the moment, there is at the moment here, they're going to have to go and kill this key rat back here, get their last bit, and then the race can really start to begin. It looks like JTB maybe has about a second lead on FEARAgent right now. The key rat there was a little nicer to him than it was to FEARAgent. But these three items in the back are going to be 10 arrows and the bow and a loopy, so we can go ahead and, if we feel like it, we can go ahead and beat Eastern.
It'll be very interesting to see if anybody takes that option up here.
Yeah, that's always a question there, is how quick should you go and get to the dungeons early in a mode where you're going to be doing all dungeons? Because if you can, say, get the hammer in a minute and maybe a mirror, you could combo in Pod and Eastern at the same time, which would be nice.
We really haven't found a whole lot just besides that bow and the mail upgrade, so it'll be very interesting to see if we get the Kakariko here, which I assume we will, and get a map check. Looks like vanilla green pendant, and I believe we got 2 crystals there, numbers 1 and 7, the other 2 Light World dungeon.
I'll fully admit here that it was way too fast for me to be able to see it.
I tried my best.
And that bush crab is giving us 8 bombs as well there, so man, there's no shortage of explosives for the runners today, at least. All right, with that 300 rupees, FEARAgent is making his way directly into Kakariko. He's going to get there first. JTB took a little bit of extra time there to go up to Lumberjack and get a quick eye up there on the item there. Just a piece of heart, so nothing that he would be too interested in. But Kakariko is where both of the runners are definitely going to head here, because this is where most of our early items are, just like that hammer and the flippers. Ooh, and a master sword. Okay, so we've got a few items early. And and an early Sank Heart. Now, you typically want that Sank Heart somewhere on like Laser Bridge, but I mean, if you're gonna get it with 4 hearts, sure, why
Might
not?
as well. Yep. Of course, we go in the first place, we check in Kakariko, and hey, look, there's like a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see what's in the well.
I kind of like that JTB walked all the way back up the stairs and then realized he hadn't opened the chest, so he had to go. So he had to go all the way back down there to go get to his Sank Heart as well. Nothing in the well though, particularly. Alright, going into the chicken hut here, we're gonna grab ourselves a quick little more 100 rupees, put ourselves that much closer to Zora money. With those flippers there, getting close to 500 rupees, you'll probably want to knock out all of that at the same time, so that's going to be helpful for both of the runners. And boots! That's fantastic.
Absolutely gonna be really happy to find those.
Yeah, that allows us to get whatever the item here is on the library. If you wanted it, it's just a piece of heart, so neither of the runners are going to be getting it. Oh, wow. And there is a Cane of Somaria sitting there on race gain. So FEARAgent went took a quick look, and now he's going to sit here, bonk into the wall, and go and pick that up as well. That's quite a few items for an early Kakariko dive there.
Yes, indeed. So Kakariko was the right play, but you have to think a little bit here. Does this mean that we're gonna have to see it open up a little bit?
You know, when you get an early seed like this where you've got so many items, it does tend to, you do tend to hit a choke point at some point later in the seed. We could get one of the fabled jet seeds, but man, what's likely to happen is a little bit different here. So I don't know, we'll have to see. That's a heck of a great start though. Well, it looks like health is not going to be an issue either for either of the runners, as both of them are going to end up with six hearts the moment that they head to the dam. Now, we're getting a little bit of divergence now, so as JTB is heading over to the eastern area, he's going to take that bow and probably go ahead and complete that first dungeon.
Looks like a wise decision.
Yeah, that's the biggest debate here is do you think completing the eastern early versus maybe being able to combo it in with pod is going to save you more time over the edge here? FEARAgent's going one way, JTB's going the other way.
Yeah, it's always the big question, you know. Which path is the more efficient path?
Mini Moldorm Cave is extremely unhelpful for FEARAgent's side here because we've got a full 5 items of basically nothing. And JTB is going to be making his way into Eastern as we speak, and looks like he might have ended up making the more viable play. And hey, Flute, I see you there on the island.
Just about to say, there's the flute, so that could be super important here in just a little bit. See if we end up with a Mirror Moon Pearl combination sooner rather than later. So that's what we're going to need to be able to get to the Dark World safely and get that mirror.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a question here. We don't know if Myra's going to be a pendant or a crystal yet, so there's a chance that we could we could be looking for that mirror, possibly even in GT. So, man, it's going to be a little bit hard to see yet as JTB is making his way through Eastern there, picks up his big key off of the right side there, and he'll be picking up the rest of his items in a second. All right. While FEARAgent making his way over to Ice Rod Cave here, he's got the money that he needs to go up to Zora, so he's probably headed up that way after this.
This will be a interesting decision here if there's anything in the ice chest here. So we didn't really find anything new on the south of Hyrule Loop, besides that intel of where the flute is. So that may be the one beneficial thing in just getting these checks taken care of, because JTB is probably going to come down here at some point and do all these.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I can't imagine he's going to leave the water checks there, you know, unchecked there. I don't think he'll be skipping those today, especially since I would be very surprised if we don't find something out of these next 4 checks here on FEARAgent's side. As there's our lamp, so we might be doing an early Aga trip here for these runners instead of what looked like possibly just a normal light world, dark world entry. So JTB is going to have to do. He's going to have to do Eastern the slightly harder way here. He's in the dark room, and what was that?
That was Fire Rod on Zora there. So FEARAgent making a pretty nice little play here to go grab that.
Definitely, that is a great early find there. That's going to mean the moment that we get into the dark world there, we can go ahead and complete Skull Woods.
He's also got a nice backup safety here for when he goes into the dark room. Probably doesn't need it. This is one of the easier dark rooms to deal with, but still, you know, it's nice to have just in case you do find yourself needing to get somewhere like, say, Pod. Doing the dark rooms in Pod is a lot easier with the fire source and that the Fire Rod is, rather than going ahead and trying to do it blind, even if you know it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's one of the big things. JTB had to do that in the dark there, and you can see it took him an extra couple of seconds here, and an extra couple of seconds can be the difference in these matches here, because we've already seen quite a few ties in the playoffs themselves. JTB picks up his Moon Pearl there off of the Armos Knights there, so that's probably going to tell him that there's a Fire Rod or a lamp floating around somewhere, because that is 100% necessary.
Of course, one of the other things too that we're seeing here, I'll see JTB do it as well. Skipping Sasahara's hut, Sarsaparilla. If you like a more easy to pronounce name, it says Sahasrara. But yeah, it's gonna do that. Actually, he already did the back check. FEARAgent skipping it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap all 4 of them up together, and it was just a heart, which, you know, not bad, but still.
Yeah, I mean, that means I think both runners here, after they do all of their checks, are going to end up with like 8 hearts on what is kind of looking to me like it might be an Aga start here. Now, we're all dungeons, so we're going to be doing Aga at some point anyway, so getting an Aga start here, or an Aga entry into Dark World, really is not going to bother either of the runners. It's something you probably want to do later, but if you have to do it now, it's not a big deal. And FEARAgent not going to take the 50-50 drop here, the 50-50 chance. He is going to go to the Eastern Palace Big Key chest, same as JTB did. Unfortunately, he's also going to find that there is just a compass back here. So neither of the runners is going to gain any time on the other one by skipping a check. JTB probably none too happy with his rewards there for doing Mini Moldorm Cave, as he gets a whole flat lot of nothing. FEARAgent showing how much easier it is when you've got the lamp to go back here and complete this room, and wisely stopping to pick up a little bit of money because he's going to be going likely to pod afterwards, and you're going to need 110 rupees to pay off that monkey.
That's a good point. So now we're seeing JTB with the water walk. I'm gonna do all these checks. We've already seen. Gonna dash over there, and we'll see the flute. So that's good. I was wondering if you'd check that after Hobo, or if you had forgot about it, or forget about it completely, which would be really bad, potentially. And he's got that intel now, so looking like we'll be pretty even here coming out of Eastern Palace here for FEARAgent. It'll be interesting to see where JTB goes next, if he does make the pod play that we think that FEARAgent's going to make.
Yeah, both of the runners there go ahead and get their green pendants and got their moon pearl. JTB is about to have everything he needs to make that Aga climb, Aga Tower climb here in just a second. The question is either of them going to gamble on that Agena cave check? Because that's the only thing that we have left open.
That is true.
I think if this was just a regular, a regular 7-7 game, at that point I might be tempted to do the Agena check, but since this is all dungeons, I would be kind of surprised to see either runner do it. And yeah, sure enough, FEARAgent is headed directly up to Aga Tower, it looks like. So we're going to get to watch that climb as JTB picks up his fire rod from Zora. Now, this is one time where FEARAgent doing things in a slightly different order has probably given him possibly a bit of an advantage here, because it really comes down to that money. JTB just spent 500 rupees there getting his fire rod, which is something he'll definitely 100% take. But he's only got 36 rupees. That's not enough to pay Kiki, so he'll probably, at first at least, head down to Hype Cave. Using that fire rod there to go ahead and get the quick kills on JTB's side, as both runners are just going to make their way up to Aga. And this is a climb that any runner at this stage in the tournament, in the league here, has done this climb hundreds of times. So this is just a pure execution, get it done as quickly as you can moment here. Neither of the runners should really have any trouble with this at all.
Nah, it should be pretty cut and dry for both of them. we'll get to play a guessing game here shortly. We're gonna Days. We're gonna be guessing how many blue balls will we see from Aga today.
Boy, let's be nice. Let's just go with a nice 0 blue balls, because a nice I don't want to sit here and watch Aga spam blue balls for, you know, too long for either of these runners here.
Yeah,
what do you say?
0 dream is nice. I'm gonna say 2. I think we'll get a couple just for the sheer RNG-ness of it. But I think it'll be pretty nice regardless. We're not gonna get like 20. We can't, because 15's max.
Yeah, well, I think you're being much more realistic than I am, but, you know, we can hope for 0. So if you want to go ahead to chat there, get some numbers in there. How many blue balls do you think Aga's going to be shooting today? Go ahead there. Alright, so we've got a good, according to chat there, we've got about a good 17-second difference between the two runners here. Assuming neither of them misses any of these shots here, they should be exiting at about exactly that same 17 seconds.
Yep. Or just execution in general. So that would also count that, yeah.
Or 27 seconds. Sorry, it's early in the morning and I am not a math teacher.
It's alright, we forgive you.
Aga's being a bit of a butthead.
Yeah, more so than usual.
Alright, finally goes down there. We're going to get to see exactly what's on the pyramid and where exactly both of these runners want to go first.
Well, it is just a piece of heart, so that's kind of unfortunate. But now we've got options. Obviously, having the hammer does mean that we can go all the way around to Village of Outcasts. Actually, no, it doesn't, because we go south, because we can't move the big rock. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be pod. Which JTB going to need a little bit of rupee farming here to be able to get in.
Yeah, I expect him to just kind of go to Hype Cave instead. Probably get whatever rupees that he needs from that sort of route, and then probably head his way over, as it looks like our two pendants today are going to be Pod and Ice Palace, with our 2 red crystals over there on Skull Woods and Misery Mire. So that's going to 100% guarantee that we're not looking for a flute or anything like that. I'm sorry, a mirror or anything like that in GT. There's most of the money that JTB needs. And oh, there's the rest. So yeah, that is money is no longer an issue for him, that's for sure. So while FEARAgent's going to go ahead and knock out the rest of Pod here, we're going to get to see a couple of extra checks on JTB's side. He'll give us the Stumpy check, which is just a heart container, and he'll also give us the Dig Game check here before he probably would end up being forced also into this into Pod as well. So unless we get something like a glove or a hook shot over on JTB's side, he's going to be joining FEARAgent in just about a second.
Yep. Looks like we did mirror.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we were talking there, we found the mirror. It's over at Dig Game. So it looks like that this was the right play to make all along. Just Fear having to go the opposite way. But I assume Fear will probably make that play next. However, JTB's got quite a few options now with that mirror. We'll get the, I think that's exactly what he's going to go do. Gonna go get the flute off the Lake Hylia island.
Yeah, that mirror opens up so much to JTB, actually. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, we're going to see a save and quit here. He's going to probably go directly into Kakariko, activate that flute, and I'm thinking mirror plus hammer means let's go to Death Mountain and raid Paradox Cave.
Yep. It seems like the logical progression from Lake Hylia up to the flute, which gets you all the way up to Death Mountain. And then you can probably go ahead and get Tower of Hera, wrap that in, and then do Paradox Cave.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like a pretty decent plan there.
Well, that was an interesting find that we could have checked so long ago.
So, Aga not required. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. So, I mean, it made sense that both of these runners were like, you know what, I'm not going to go off for one-off checks here, but yeah, there's your Aga play right there.
Yeah, to be fair, the routing didn't really make sense to go all the way back up there, but it was something that was available ever since we got the boots, like about 20 minutes ago.
That's a bit funny. So that's all good there. But one of the big advantages also on JTB's side is having that mirror. FEARAgent's is walking into the dark maze here, and he's not going to have the mirror to be able to mirror out to the front. So he's going to have to, bounce off these fireballs a little bit here. And he's going to be setting up for a death warp there, which takes a little bit more time than just pressing one button. Now, that Quake Medallion might actually be something, though. So that's the first, I think, item that I've seen in Pod that you would actually consider good.
I guess that's probably a death warp. I assume Fear's maybe heading on to the back here, take care of Helmasaur.
Yeah, I mean, if you can turn this into a single trip, you're 100% going to do that. There's JTB's going to make his way through the Village of Outcasts. Got to admit that Cheep carrying the just waddling around there is kind of giving me flashbacks to playing Mario as a kid.
Yeah, but Cheep's they kind of more flopped and bounced around. They didn't really dash.
I'm more thinking about those couple of levels there where they started jumping out at the bottom of the screen, and oh my god.
Gotcha.
6-year-old me just hated those things. Ooh, Titan's Mitts there, hiding in Thieves Town for JTB, so that's going to be a great find for him. Alright, and we're into the Helmasaur fight over on FEARAgent's side here. We're going to have to do 17 hits with the hammer there to knock off his mask, and at that point we're looking at either 8 arrow shots to the jewel there, or 8 sword slashes, or if we want to get really fancy we can do We can do the hammer shots here, which are a little bit more difficult to hit. And down goes Helmasaur, and that is FEARAgent's second dungeon completed here today. He's going to get his second pendant pretty easily, as JTB, while FEARAgent was fighting Helmasaur there, went ahead and picked up his silver arrows. So Thieves Town having a few items today.
Yeah, so will be interesting to see here where Fear goes next, knowing that JTB is clearing out Thieves Town. You hear another crystal dungeon, so, or actually first crystal dungeon, but this will be the second dungeon clear for JTB while Fear's already gone through pod. Now, could be that we need the cape for something, but don't quite know that yet. We're getting a hype cave check though.
Yeah, he's not going to get anything out of this except for
Yep.
some money and a little bit more health here. As I'm looking over at JTB's side here, and we're about 30 minutes in, and he's already got two rows of health there. So
Yeah, very healthy seed.
yeah, these guys are doing all right. Sure. I think biggest question for FEARAgent coming over this way, because he's about to get his mirror over from the digging game, and the biggest question I think is, does he remember to go immediately down and check Cave 45 with that mirror? Because JTB left that, and if there's an item there, that could give FEARAgent, a decent little advantage, but at this point it's quite early. Well, JTB having no trouble there with blind there, got his 9 hits in pretty quickly, picks up his map, but also gets his second dungeon completed right there. So well done on his side, as FEARAgent picks up his mirror from the dig game. Alright, so we're getting that Cave 45 check, so there could be something here. Probably not, but it is just 10 arrows, so
Yep.
Fear's not going to get any advantage from that.
Just a bunch of junk, unfortunately, for Fear. Now, the question will be, does JTB find enough things, or does he end up in a go mode? Like, search for one item and has to go back and check some of these locations that Fear's kind of going through right now.
I mean, yeah, that's the big question there, because one of the big things that we have not found yet is the ice rod, and, well, looking at our current layout, we are able to basically get to almost every location on the map at this point. So if that ice rod wants to go ahead and hide, well, both of these runners could take quite a while to go ahead and find it, as JTB is making his way directly to the back of Skull Woods. Some really nice execution there by JTB as he turns into a blooper. Sorry. In that mummy room there on JTB's side, some really nice execution there. As we're into the moth fight, over there. This can be a bit of an annoying fight here, but JTB looks to be managing it pretty well so far. Opting to use the hammer at the end there, takes him down, no problem there, picks up a compass. And that is going to be dungeon number 3 for JTB.
And there we go. Fear getting the flute. Yeah, JTB making that play all the way back into Skullwoods here. Gonna get this first chest and then probably go back and take care of Mothula. Oh wait, already has. Yep. Don't know why I was saying that he's gonna go to the back and take care of it. He's just cleaning up this last chest. And it's only a big 20.
FEARAgent kind of forgetting there that he doesn't quite have the mitts yet. He's gonna have to go to. He's gonna have to go into Thieves Town to go get those first, but he'll end up going around here picking up his Dark World portal as JTB is gonna flute away. And where are we headed today? Looks like it is time for a mire check and probably a desert clear while we're over here. That was Bombos there sitting on the mire entry today, so we do not have the medallion necessary to get in there quite yet. Going ahead, JTB picking up the mushroom off the desert ledge, as FEARAgent has now got to make his way back to Mothula as well here, so... Looks like we're not boots locked out of Desert Palace, but, I mean, doesn't matter since we found the boots within the first five minutes of checking overworld locations today. So, time to start thinking about where do we start heading next for both of these runners here?
I don't know. That's a really good question. We have quite a few opportunities open. Obviously, we're seeing JTB go ahead and go into desert here, so you know, Fear's still got to go into Thieves Town, so they'll probably be their next play. And then for desert, that's kind of guess you gotta stay up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, the Death Mountain play is tempting just for all of the items there. You'd kind of like to have Hookshot before you go up there, but at the same time, there's a very good chance Hookshot's sitting in one of those chests as we're into our moth fight over on FEARAgent's side here. Also opting to use the hammer and a couple of sword strats here. Oof, Moth is in the corner there. He's just bouncing off those spikes there. FEARAgent's not actually getting any hits there off of him, but ends up taking him down. Alright, and that's, if we're going to count Castle Tower here, that's going to be dungeon number 5 there, dungeon number 4 completed over on FEARAgent's side, because he hasn't been to Thieves Town quite yet. I kind of wonder if Ice Palace might not be a bad play as well, because oh wow, land mode just died very quickly on JTB's side there, picks up some bombs.
That's a good point though. it might very well be a smart play.
I mean, we could see a quick icebreaker there, open up that entire world there for our things. Give the chat a quick ped check at some point there, make everybody a whole bit happy.
But first, looks like we're going to get a chance to wander on over into good old Checkerboard Cave, and it's only going to be a piece of heart.
Yeah, and that's our first bottle there, sitting on the bumper ledge. Now, interestingly enough, FEARAgent choosing not to get that. I mean, it's not a fast check, but at the same time, we haven't seen a bottle yet, and that would open up Sick Kid. Oh, there's a bottle. It was in Aga's cave.
That's, we should have gone to Agina's cave from the get-go, right? Get that bottle.
Apparently that is the question.
Yeah,
right?
Sick Kid has the key to everything.
Well, probably we're gonna find out right now here as we went directly to Sick Kid, and he's gonna show us 50 rupees there. So I mean, you're at least getting paid for it today.
Cashing in on that bounty.
And North Dark World not picking up anything there over on FEARAgent's side. And sure enough, JTB is now up on the mountain here. He's gonna be there's just so many checks that are up here. So he's looking for hook shot and ice rod and bombos and whatever Turtle Rock might need. We might need ether as well.
Yeah, this is a good play, I think, from JTB. Just be able to get all of this cleared out. Now he's got the old man spot to reset from. Doesn't have to take the flute up here anymore.
Yeah, that'll help out there. It looked like FEARAgent maybe had like a bit of hesitation when coming over the rest of the way to Catfish. Neither of the runners were able to do this, so if this is something big, this is going to help out for FEARAgent a ton.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, that's a big one.
That's a bit important there. That is our Meyer entry requirement right there, and that is a very isolated check over on JTB's side. Now, hopefully he pulls the same thing that FEARAgent did not that long ago and decides, you know what, I'm gonna go directly check when he goes for North Dark World there, he'll go all the way across to Catfish. But oh man, that's a big find.
Yep. Now, obviously for FEARAgent, it looks like since he's going down to go to the portals, he'll be into Thieves Town, I assume. But yeah, that's he's not too far behind, and he now have Meyer and Desert Palace that he can check off back to back once he gets this glove.
Now, chat bringing up a good point there, that JTB, because he had gone earlier down to Desert Palace, he does have the mushroom. So that's one more thing that he can pair with going up there. Maybe makes that route a little bit more attractive.
I think that's a good point to point out as well.
If I was counting right, that's both items over in Tower of Hera. So JTB's just going to make his way up to Moldorm and smack him on the tail a couple of times. Or not. Okay. That's the second item there in Tower of Hera. That's a book in the big chest as FEARAgent. Yeah, FEARAgent picks up his Titansmiths there out of Thieves Town. That's a great place to find book. You just walk immediately outside there and check that ether tablet the moment you're finished here with Moldorm. There you go. That is JTB's third crystal, and we're gonna call that dungeon number 6 there, since we're counting agate today.
I was gonna check. This is a good decision, checking ether tablet right away.
Deadrock's not exactly playing nice over there on JTB's side, but he gets by him eventually there and pulls into Spiral Cave. Luckily, he's got boots here, so we can do this the slightly faster way.
And gets a piece of heart out of it.
Reward not what he's looking for, but it's about to hit Paradox Cave and then jump into Super Bunny in just a second here, so he'll be just fine as far as checks go pretty quickly, I think. Now, this might be one of these weird cases here where JTB might not want to find something like the hook shot. The reason I'm saying that is if he finds the hook shot, he probably goes and full clears Swamp Palace.
I think that's King Burna instead. So that negates some of the advantage perhaps that FEARAgent had in finding the cave, unless there's something up on Bumper Cave. That would be very interesting.
Bumper Cave was just that bottle, fairy in the bottle.
Yep, and we've already got one, so we don't really have to worry about it. So just a bunch of junk for JTB, unfortunately not going to find much of value.
As FEARAgent goes ahead and takes down Blind over there, that's going to be his 6th dungeon completed as well, so, or 6th, 5th dungeon completed. Now, this routing might actually really work out for FEARAgent here. Depending on what's here in Super Bunny, this mountain has been kind of empty. That's a powder, and so far that's all we've had.
And it is ether to get in Turtle Rock, so we're going to have to find another medallion. JTB is going to go ahead and pick up the bonkable chest here in Hookshot Cave. And there's going to be some bombs. And meanwhile, FEARAgent will find out that access to Misery Mire is granted. And with that Bombos medallion.
And yeah, 100% he's gonna complete that while he's here. He's got silver, so it's not like Vitreous is gonna be a difficult fight or anything for him.
Nope. He doesn't have to worry about the dark room switches either, because he'll have that lamp. Meanwhile, JTB gonna check out Spike Cave here. Let's see if there's anything in here, or if it's just kind of a dead end.
Spike Cave is the bane of my existence, and today it only has 3 bombs, so
Yep.
no advantage there for JTB. All right. Where are we headed there, JTB? Looks like he's going to go into pod, and he'll take all of the time here to full clear this. Now, we know that he's not going to find anything of interest in here. He'll pull out a Quake medallion at some point, but turns out that that's not a medallion we need today. And I guess at this point, since both runners are kind of doing something that we've already seen here, go ahead and, if you could, you know, give both of these guys a follow. Give the league a follow as well. We've got matches all day long going on. They are a ton of fun to watch and a ton of fun to get involved in. If you're interested in volunteering with anything with the league or anything with SpeedGaming, go ahead and join up with the Discord. You'll have a great time. Also, big shout outs today to, oh man, she told me her name before we started, but I'm probably going to mess it up now. Big shout outs today to our tracker, Velaity. Hope that's right. And also to my co-commentator, Nihon Tiger. I'm Dazed Cloud. Thank you for joining us tonight, as we've got both of our runners here making their way to try to go ahead and complete their next dungeons.
Absolutely, and we've already seen, of course, from both on our side, we've already seen these 2 dungeons. We know what's in there, and this is more just kind of a clearing out situation. FEARAgent is pulling back a little bit here with JTB going in and maybe even doing a full clear pod. And he's got the cape, so won't miss the bomb.
FEARAgent unfortunately missing the 0 cycle here, but he's going to pop one in the final worm right now and picks up his next crystal.
We actually, I can take that back, because I think we may actually see a play here by Fear into Meyer, and that will be substantial. Could very well claw back. If Meyer's got something of value, could very well claw back. Or not. He's actually going to go up to the mountain. He's going to skip Meyer for now.
That's an interesting call. Honestly,
I would have probably gone to Meyer. I think that's, you know, even if it's nothing, unless he's looking to go mode it and thinks that there's something up here. I just think that's, you know, clear out the dungeons as you can clear them out by where you located at, reduce the number of times that you have to move around.
I mean, I guess hoping that you get a God Meyer or something there. I mean, if you're in go mode going into Meyer, that is significantly faster. But oof, I guess maybe this is a little bit of bias on our side here, since we know that the mountain is just completely empty. Yeah, this is I don't know if this is. He'll probably want that one back here once he realizes the mountain is just got nothing for him.
Yep.
Interesting to see that neither runner decided to use a Harapot. They both got the big key, and both of them decided that they were going to go ahead and complete the dungeon in the normal way. They don't have hookshot, of course. What am I saying? Thank you, chat. Alright, FEARAgent, go ahead and picks up his book. And he's going to make his way up into fighting Moldorm as well. So he's going to, after this, we're going to, both runners are going to have the exact same amount of dungeons completed. And pretty much everything here. It would be, I don't even know, I'd maybe give FEARAgent a bit of a lead at this point just because he's got that catfish clear. But it's really hard to say right now. This is extremely close. JTB wailing away on Helmasaur there, and one benefit of those silver arrows was being able to take just one shot into the eye there for Helmasaur, and he goes down easily and quickly there. Gets a piece of heart and his red pendant. And we're tied up on dungeons. Now, interesting routing over on Fear's side here. Now, he's going to end up leaving himself with a possible nasty choice here. Now, we know that it's not going to be a big deal, but he's going to find out really quickly that he can only do Spiral Cave or Spike Cave, or he's going to have to make another climb up the mountain here. That's going to give him a little bit of a... That might give him a little bit of a problem here. As FEARAgent picks up his powder, and JTB turned in his mushroom there with the flute. That catfish check has now gotten just a little bit more isolated than before. I think that's the first time that fish sprite actually looked right there swimming in the water. As going into Ice Palace on JTB's side, so probably going to see an icebreaker here pretty soon. If you haven't seen this yet, JTB is going to make believe that walls don't exist. Alright, having fun with pen gators over here on JTB's side.
He's got that big key nice and early. You know, Fierce is kind of catching up at this point, right behind. Doing a lot of these same checks.
And sure enough, JTB just goes right through that wall without any problem there, and nice icebreaker done on his side. Now, since he's going to be full clearing this dungeon here, he's not overly worried about doing the extra thing to hit the switch here. He'll be able to get enough keys to get through without too much problem here. FEARAgent is setting up for a hover here in Hookshot Cave. Didn't quite make it there. Lost it at the very end.
Is he going to try it again? Yep.
Oh, and there's the hookshot sitting in the big chest of Ice Palace there. So I think if I'm Fear, I give this one more try, and then if I can't get it, I'm out of there.
Yeah, at some point you gotta cut your losses just to see if, yeah, I think at this point go ahead and cut your losses and... Oh no, he's gonna go for it again. Hey, there we go, 4th time's a charm. He's gonna bonk across, hit that one, and he's got one more hover to do the full clear. You can keep it up. He got it.
All right, and over on JTB's side, he had to pop a blue goo there to get the potion, to get the magic necessary to knock Cold Stare into the corner there. It's getting him a little, very good job of keeping him in the corner with this Master Sword.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty tough fight just with the mask because it's a Master Sword fight, but using that Fire Rod effectively.
Yeah, he took him down.
Go ahead and check Spike Cave. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, he took him down surprisingly easily there with a combination of that Master Sword plus that Fire Rod there. Did a great job on JTB's side. Now, with that hook shot, he's gonna have pretty much, that's gonna give him access back over to Swamp Palace and a whole bunch of other things for him to complete.
Though we have to wonder, since there's so many new things that have been opened up, does this delay the play to Catfish?
I'm
certainly not a as high of a value proposition.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about too. Is that Catfish is just a terrible location to have an item at when you've skipped it, because it's just, there's never a good way to kind of route that in later, especially if you've already done Aga, you've already turned in your mushroom. It's getting back up there is just you're gonna have to force yourself to go ahead and complete it. And I'm a little bit concerned that in his head he's maybe thinking, you know, if there's something there, I'm just not checking it. And one of his teammates is bringing up a pretty good point here. For JTB's side, one of the worst things that he could see right now would be something like the Ether Medallion. Because if he finds the Ether Medallion here, that might pop into his head, oh, I need to go to Turtle Rock. And that's when we start thinking about Ice Rod shenanigans as well. So, like, JTB has been doing very well so far, but that Bombo sitting up in Catfish is a really ugly place for him. FEARAgent on the other side there, he's doing the same thing as JTB, just immediately going over to the right side there, setting up for his icebreaker attempt there. Oof, Looks like he almost got stuck for a second there, but pushes through the wall. For anybody who's learning how to do some of these tricks that you see the runners do, a lot of them look a lot harder than they actually are. There's a lot of really great guides available if you join up on the Discord, things like that. You can find guides here to teach you how to do these really quick, because if you're looking to go ahead and run this game, I would highly recommend that, because it's a ton of fun. Alright, JTB looks to be heading into Swamp Palace right now, so he's got all of the items that he needs to complete this dungeon here. Now, the biggest question for him is he going to end up full clearing this, or is he going to leave something on the left side?
It's always the gamble, I think. You know, you really have to think, you know, if I leave something that's important on the left side, like if it's Ice Rod, you know, certainly don't want to leave that behind. But I think we'll probably get a full clear here just because we're still missing three required items. I don't think you can take the chance of leaving two just over there. It's not great odds that both items are over there, but you never know. It's not worth the risk, really. And there's that hook shot.
Now, FEARAgent taking a little bit of extra time there earlier to go ahead and hover Hookshot Cave means that when he comes back up, he'll not have to do it again.
Right, lost a little bit of time on that, but that's cleared. So we're seeing, I think we're seeing a big difference here between these two runners. Fear's doing a lot more thorough cleaning out of these locations. JTB is leaving some of these chests behind, which if we don't happen to find Ether and Ice Rod in our dungeoneering adventures, is going to mean that we've got quite the journey. And we know as well that JTB is going to be short that Bombos tap medallion, so gonna have to go back and check that at some point to go to Catfish. So, you know, the question is, does he go immediately to Catfish when he starts checking these single one-off locations, or is it a situation where he does a whole bunch of them he doesn't need to do and loses a bunch of time?
Now, FEARAgent's going to have a much more difficult fight over on his side there. He's got the Bombos to knock open the shell, but that's it. From this point on, it's going to be all hammer and Master Sword shots there. So far, though, great early start, though.
I think having the mail, though, is going to help out quite a bit. Nail all those extra hearts. Be able to get up in there a little more.
Yeah, those cold stare puffs hit like a truck, but if you've got red mail, that makes things a lot easier.
Yep.
And there is his final pendant over on FEARAgent's side, so pretty good there. And it looks like we've got JTB going for a diver down. Just set it up there. Got the nice little, I'm going to call it the Bonta Bomb switch there as well, because he was the first one I saw do it. And he's over to the left side, so yeah, he's going to make sure that he full clears this nice and easy. And it looks like FEARAgent's going to be joining JTB into Swamp Palace right now. And it looks like while I was maybe watching Fear over on the other side there, JTB has found the ice rod there. So this would be a really, again, this would be a really bad time for him to go ahead and find that ether medallion.
Set up diver down here. Nicely done.
And we are an hour and 15 minutes into this seed here, and this is still extremely tight. JTB's got a few things cleared that FEARAgent hasn't, but on the same side, FEARAgent has got that bombos in his back pocket right there. So, man, we're gonna be in for a real good finish here. It looks like. As Argus is not playing particularly nice over there. Finally gets the silver arrow there into Argus, takes him down, rewarded with a piece of heart here, so probably good for JTB in this case, as there is no ether medallion here in Swamp Palace, so he's going to have to go and check some more overworld checks, which should lead JTB to that bombos.
It looks like Fear's setting up diver down as well.
Having a little bit more trouble than JTB did, but looks like he's not quite got it there.
Yeah, I think he's like just a pixel or two off.
I think his biggest problem right now is he's not going. There he is. Yeah, he wasn't going far enough to the right.
Right
there.
Here we go.
And JTB finally remembering that he had the powder there, has to check the, went ahead and checked that there, was rewarded with the single arrow. And where is he going to be heading to now? Alright, back to 3, and then this has got to be North Dark World up to Catfish. I can't imagine this is anything but that. Now, big question for FEARAgent is there is a single item left over on left side swamp here, and it's gonna be a question of whether or not he goes back to get it. Kind of surprised that we're going with just basic sword swings over on FEARAgent's side here, but I mean, to be honest, when you've got Master Sword, there's not really a particularly fast way to do this there.
Yep. He's got the silver arrows, and I'll hop on part 2. JTB is wrapping around here and checking some of these locations he hasn't gotten to yet.
Alright, looks like FEARAgent's going to go for this Bombos medallion. The Bombos tablet check here really quick. And then if he heads directly into Misery Mire, there's a reasonable chance that we might have both runners in Misery Mire at the exact same time, looking for the exact same things. Now, FEARAgent taking just a second here. He's going to get his first bottle finally here at nearly an hour and 20 minutes into the seed. JTB is making his way over to Catfish right now. And yeah, there's a... Oh man, if Fear goes directly to Misery Mire, this is going to be basically as tight as it could be. There goes Fear right now. He's headed to Misery Mire here. JTB will be very excited to go ahead and see this Bombos medallion that Catfish is about to throw him.
Yep, and actually this is kind of where we're going to see Fear have a bit of an advantage for that early check, if he's going to get in the Misery Mire first. And I mean, JTB was like 2 dungeons ahead at one point, just getting all the things, and kind of Fear was following in JTB's footsteps, checking a few extra locations, but one of those early checks was the Catfish check, and Fear grabbed Bombos there. So this is where that plays off, and suddenly JTB finds himself a little bit further behind, perhaps, than really wishes he was.
We are purely into the execution part of this here. FEARAgent pulling off a fantastic mire too there, taking him down real quick. JTB is setting up to do the exact same thing, not having sword beam, so he's probably not going to be able to get this as quick as Fear did. There are 2 items in Misery Mire, but these runners are only interested in the single one. They want to find that Ether Medallion, they want to find that big key, and then they want to get going. Now, the other big question for this is, now Ether Medallion, one of the other places that it could be is it could be sitting there on the pedestal, and neither of these runners has checked it. Small key in the compass chest there in Misery Mire does guarantee that there will be a big key back here in the cutscene chest, so that is where FEARAgent is headed. FEARAgent drops down, picks up his big key.
And JTB right behind.
For those of you who are just tuning in right now, this is a Game 4 between Team Kappa and WJPTBB here. If JTB is able to win this match here, his team will move on to the next round. They're looking to play Seal W in the conference semifinals here. If FEARAgent wins this, we will have a Game 5 immediately following this match.
Yep, so really depends. Do you want more rando? Then you're going to be shooting on FEARAgent, unless you've got a personal connection one way or another to one of these runners. Or you take the gambles. Oh, that's interesting. That could be somewhat helpful there for Fear.
What's more interesting is JTB went directly to the back.
Yeah, I was about to say that before I saw Fear go ahead and pick up the big chest item. Yeah, JTB is just gonna go straight back here. Gonna ignore those chests on the right side, make a gamble that there's nothing there.
This could be terrible for Fear, because
Yep.
that was both items. It's not in here, so we're either looking at it being on the Pyramid Ferry or on Pedestal.
Yep. Yeah, that's certainly a gamble there from JTB. Will put him back in the lead, so to speak. I guess you could say.
He's going to come
back first.
He's going to come back for those two chests. There's no way he's not leaving. He's just leaving those behind.
That's true. He might come back for those. I guess he thought maybe this was quicker to do it this way.
I think what he's going for here is there is always a chance that you come back here, Vitreous has your item, you're in go mode, and you've skipped those other things. I mean, coming back into Misery Mire, it doesn't take that long. I mean, it's a very defensible gamble right now.
Yeah, you come back, so I'm gonna get these two last chests here.
I mean, it's not even really that much of a time loss because like there's really only, we're gonna say maybe like one, maybe 2 rooms difference here. So he gets this. It looks like Fear is going to be heading to the Pyramid Ferry here.
So this will be interesting.
The question becomes here, if it's on the pedestal, that could be terrible for FEARAgent, because there's a decent chance that he goes, oh, you know what? Okay, I guess it's probably on the Smith chain that I haven't completed yet.
That's a good point too. Unless he wants to make the pet play first. It's all really decision time now. You know, gotta find that last item. Or do you take the gamble that it's up here? I guess you can take the gamble first, Pyramid Ferry, and make your way over to, because you can check ped. You could easily grab a ped check in before going to Smith Chain.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the area, so it would make sense to go there. So JTB on the other side, he's going directly to the pet. No, he's not. It looked like he had hit 3.
Yep. Oh, it's Pyramid Ferry.
All right, so that is go mode for FEARAgent at 1 hour 27 minutes here. So he's going to make his way directly up to Turtle Rock, and JTB is right behind him here.
Yep. We got ourselves a race.
There's going to be maybe a minute difference between the 2 runners. This is well within the area of, you know, Cannon Falls and GT routing and all sorts of other things. This is pure execution from this point on. Now, one advantage that JTB has, I believe he still has a blue pot in his inventory right now. I know FEARAgent just has a B. All right, and about, say, 70 seconds after JTB, about a minute and 10 seconds there, he picks up his Ether Medallion, puts himself into go mode, and he's going to be fluting on his way up to Turtle Rock immediately as well.
Yep, and this will be as go-mody as both runners can make it, so they're going to be blitzing through here.
And over on JTB's side, it looks like, yeah, he had used that blue potion in in Ice Palace there. So both runners coming into Turtle Rock without any sort of safeties at all. But I believe the 17 hearts that FEARAgent has and the 16 hearts that JTB has are more than enough for either of these runners, as we picked up butter out of the first chest here in Turtle Rock. All right. FEARAgent picking up a small key and a big key out of the roller room chests there. So there's a good chance that we're going to be skipping the lava chest on both of these runners' side. Chain Chomp's unfortunately blocking FEARAgent's Samaria shot there. Picks up the small key, he's making his way down there. At this point, any little thing like that, like a Chain Chomp just getting in the way of your Samaria blast, is gonna cost you time that the other that JTB can make up. Saving a little time there on JTB's side, being able to get that early hook shot to pull himself off of the platform. FEARAgent deciding that he's going to definitely skip that lava chest. He's just going to hope that we don't have small keys there and in the big chest, because if he does, then he's going to have to come back for it. I kind of expect JTB to do the same thing, though.
Yeah, I think you're kind of prioritizing time, and there indeed is a small key, so wise decision from Fear. We'll see if JTB does the same. And we're on to the basement roller coaster room. Gonna be super quick. We'll not get to see what's on Laser Bridge tonight. Nothing really that would be helpful, I think.
Yeah, neither runner going to be doing that. JTB actually getting a little bit of unfortunate pokey luck there. Had to go a little bit further to get that big key, to get that small key. But yep, sure enough, he's going to go ahead and skip lava chest as well. So
yep. And try next coming up here. Gonna be pretty quick, I would assume, with the big butter sword.
Definitely.
Should be okay.
JTB on the other side, though, going around the long way there. He's going to get rewarded with a map and lose a little bit of time on that.
Yep. I think he's just trying to be safe. That time he needs to go fast, which is kind of the exact opposite of what they were doing earlier. So we'll see. He's still not out of it yet. We still have to climb all of GT, and we still got to do some key hunting here. Speaking of which, I think we should talk a little bit about the game days.
Yeah, I went ahead and threw that command into chat there. Get your numbers into chat there. numbers between 1 and 22, where do you think that big key will be there? Neon Tiger, where do you think you're going to be?
I put 14 in chat, so I'm going to say 14. For no other reason than I just think that's where it's going to be.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm just gonna go for let's just go pure 1 right now.
Yep. That would be interesting.
I think I'm kinda do that there. Just so we can maybe see either a game 5 or just pure crazy execution going up the thing here. Okay, gonna hit the stop command and we're gonna go from FEARAgent's counting here. Alright. Ooh, now interesting. FEARAgent is gonna go to the right side here. Got a small key out of the hope room. There's an opportunity right there for JTB to come back if it turns out that the big key is sitting on the left side and JTB goes left first. JTB has picked up his final dungeon, his final crystal, and he is on his way over to Ganon's Tower as we speak. And nothing on the right side for FEARAgent here. He's going to have to take 1 second here, pick up the small key from underneath this one skull, and then he's going to be off to the left side as well.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see what does JTB do here. What kind of play do we see? Just a big 20 on a torch, so not boots required tonight for that. Of course, we needed boots a little bit earlier to get that first glove upgrade that we could have got, you know, way back at the beginning, but nobody checked the monk rocks.
Yeah, that was crazy. Gonna have to ask both runners about that when they saw what their things were here, as number 8 is just our bug net today. Alright, what is JTB doing? JTB's gonna go right as well, it looks like. So he's gonna lose a little bit of time here. Unless he gives us a full right play, which would be pretty wild to see. That Stelfo is causing Fear to lose a couple of extra seconds there. FEARAgent just tanks through one of the fire snakes and finds 50 rupees in the chest there. We're still looking for that big key. We're getting closer and closer to that great tile room big key. And there it is. It's sitting there in Rando Room in chest number... Was that chest number 14 for you?
I don't know. Was it? I think it was 14. It might have been. I lost track.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to do a little math in my head here for real fast.
Is 15, chat is saying it's 15. Which
15? All right. Well, I'm gonna believe chat today. So all right, I'll.
And I don't want to get any wins from any sort of cheating or anything like that. So 15 it is.
All right. Well, Neustria was the winner today. Got themselves a nice 44 points there. If you're interested in checking the leaderboard, you can go ahead and see that. See that there with the command as FEARAgent is making his way up the gauntlet as we speak. Looks like we've got probably a good minute lead on JTB, but we are still well within the areas of some sort of Moldorm and Ganon Falls here. If FEARAgent is able to hold on, if FEARAgent can hold on to this lead, we will be having a game 5 between Gamachu and Willard J. Bradley immediately following this match on this channel, so don't go anywhere.
Absolutely. And yeah, I went through and I counted back in my head, and it looks like chat was doing it as well. 15 was indeed the right answer. I think we may have been forgetting about one of the torch items. But yeah, FEARAgent now, second Lamola's fight, making it look super easy.
Nice zero cycle there, definitely on FEARAgent's side. JTB having a great time there in those mimic rooms, just obliterating them with those silver arrows. FEARAgent doing the same to those whiz robes here. We're seeing a lot of great execution.
Indeed, most satisfying route in game part 2. No problem for FEARAgent. But yeah, we are. If you're JTB, you're running out of time that you can pull up on execution. It's almost starting to be like, you know, FEARAgent's going to win this if he doesn't fall to either of these two, which it's not guaranteed, but
it is FEARAgent's game to lose at this moment. He's got a little bit of extra time there. The Butter Sword plus the silvers are gonna make the Ganon fight theoretically easy. But
yeah, you never know. It could still have a bonk or a drop or some sort.
Definitely, nerves are real at this point there, because FEARAgent is fighting for him and his team's life right now.
Got a magic. Gotta go get that big bottle. Oh, he's gonna skip it actually. I think it might be a smart decision, given the margins that you're playing with. Meanwhile, JTB now going through and taking care of second Lambolas. We've got the second Moldorm taken care of super quick, super easy with that Butter Sword. And yeah, just ignore that last chest. You don't need to check it. Save the frames.
Yeah, at this point, there's no reason to take any extra time opening extra chests there. I mean, the best thing that FEARAgent could have found was a heart piece to refill his health here, but he's not worried about it at this point. I don't think he just needs to get this thing over with, and he's into Aga 2.
That's a double to start with. Let's see what we get for the rest of these rounds. Another double, 2-2, probably 2-2-2, I would assume. Oh yeah, that lineup's good. Oh no, 2-2-0. Getting faked out by blue balls there.
Blue balls are not his friend, and yeah, Aga 2's giving him the business at the moment here.
There we go, 2-2-0-0-2. So that's an area where possibly we could see a little bit of time pulled back for JTB, but FEARAgent's already getting ready to drop down into the Ganon hole.
Oh, and JTB takes a Moldorm fall there. That's going to cost him a little bit of extra time there. That's going to give FEARAgent even a little bit more of a cushion. And we're into the Ganon fight over on FEARAgent's side here. That's 6 swipes with the gold sword for phase 1, 6 swipes for phase 2, 4 for phase 3, and then it's silver arrow time.
Yep. We're already on the phase 3. Ganon being nice with the warps tonight.
Now, with any luck here, assuming that FEARAgent can avoid taking a fire bat to the face there, he should be pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, servers know what's your weakness. He's gonna get a double probably to go. Oh no, he's gonna pull that out. Try and get that. It's another single. Actually a double. Oh, just missed a triple. And one more to go. You just got a bridge to go across here, but Willard, Gamma, you don't want to get yourselves ready. I think we may have a game 5 coming up here.
Yeah, it does look that way. We're going to be having a game 5 in just a second, as FEARAgent has finished this race in first place with a SRL time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 15 seconds. Get your GGs into chat for FEARAgent. And hopefully we'll be able to have both runners come on in here pretty quickly. FEARAgent is joining us right now as we speak there. GG's there, Fear.
Hey, thanks. I'm just the luckiest player in the world, so.
Well, maybe a little
very
bit
lucky.
like I was going to say, I always say that Rando's half skill, half luck, so.
Luckiest guy in the so.
There was a single play I think you made that kind of tipped things a little bit.
Just let me talk about how lucky I am, because I'm super lucky at this game.
As we all know, things just always break your way.
I'm just very lucky at this game. That's it. I went undefeated this season, but damn, I am lucky.
It's good to be lucky.
Yeah, I'm super lucky. I'm just lucky, guys.
So, just early on, you made a play to go to Catfish. Was there anything that kind of led you over there?
Yeah, I was like never going to go back to Catfish, so it was the most convenient time to go.
Cool. I mean,
and I think that ended up being the decision that won this for you, because you managed to get that all crossed off your list and be able to get in the mire just before JTB did, and from there it was kind of a drag race.
I was really lucky. I routed that in because it was close to me then. Man, I'm just lucky. I love it.
Meanwhile, yeah, get those GGs in chat. Is JTB just finishing up? Looks like his time's going to be. Do you have that time?
Yeah, I unfortunately had just closed it a second ago there, but yeah, 1:45, 55 for JTB, I believe.
Yep, looks about right. Yeah, that was really close either way between you two. But yeah, other than feeling lucky for your agent, was there anything that you felt that you did really well in the race, or that you felt like you kind of could have executed on better?
I mean, everything. I'm just really lucky, so.
Got one question in chat there that I'm going to go ahead and read to you there, just because it is it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. How do you feel about carrying the team going undefeated this season there, Fear?
I mean, lucky. I mean, I don't know. I feel good. I mean, it's a team thing, right? Like, our team went 13-1. We're not very good, so we're really lucky at this game. So that feels great. You know, I'm salty. I won, but I'm freaking salty. I'm just tired of people that can't lose this game, and not JTB specifically. I'm just talking about in the league. And it's like you go 13-1, you take it to a game 5, and it's hard for people to just say GG.
Well,
so
I'll say GG to you.
Yeah. So I hope Gamma's coming up next for game 5, and he's gonna play Willard, and he's gonna crush, and that's what it's gonna be. And guess what? If he loses, GG's to WJTBB. Good for them, and that'll be good. But I got faith in my boy.
Yeah, and we're gonna be having that match in. Basically, if I'm looking at this right here, we should be getting that started here in about 10 minutes exactly. It's going to be here on SpeedGaming 2 here. So if don't go anywhere, because we're going to have a lot more fun, great rando here. With a lot of skill from both teams.
Well, if we win, it's because Gamma's really lucky. Just know that.
Well, all right there. All right there.
But if he doesn't win, it's not luck. If it doesn't win, it's good GGs. It was a good season, and we took it to a game 5. That's exciting, right? Like, I don't think there's been a couple of game 5s. Playoffs have been like crazy good to watch.
Oh, I mean, just looking through this, I mean, there's a game 5 here with the Fendrana Drifters and the Titans Mitts on the schedule coming up here pretty soon here, where one of those two teams is gonna have to go home a little early. But yeah, no, this league has been, just as always, it's just probably the most fun you can have playing Rando, I think, Sayre. So you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so, but I'm a little biased. Haven't put it together. Like, the league is super fun. Racing with friends, even when you're not actually racing with them. Like, I took care of business tonight, got lucky and won, and now it's up to Gamma, and I get to sit back and watch, and hopefully he gets lucky and we move on. And if not, we had a good run. It was a lot of fun. So,
well,
yes,
definitely.
indeed.
And unfortunately, JTB has decided that he's not going to be joining us in the interview booth tonight. So we should be getting going here in just a few minutes here with the Gamachu Willard J. Bradley Game 5 of these two teams matchup here. That's going to be an all dungeons key sanity matchup right there. So I kind of feel like that one might be, from what I know, that's a little bit in Gamachu's wheelhouse there, but Willard J. Bradley is not exactly what we'd call a bad player. So this should be a
Titans.
Yep.
This is Titans right here. This is a matchup of the Titans.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to watching that. I'm probably going to hang out and chat there and take it, have a little viewing party myself here. But yeah, other than that, anything less you want?
Can I
ask?
ask? I mean, obviously I just raced it, so I don't know what happened, but did he do AGA as well early, or did he get the glove early?
No, yeah, you two were hive-minded for probably at least the first 20-25 minutes of this.
Yeah, I mean, it screamed AGA, especially with that. I mean, the bow unlocked the pearl, but I was like, oh man, this is. Do I really want to go just to Bonk Rocks for the one check and then go do AGA? I think I had Bonk Rocks and I had a Gina's Cave, and since it's all dungeons, it's not like it doesn't really hurt you to go do AGA because you got to do it anyways. So I'm not surprised to hear that he did it as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were kind of saying there. We laughed when it turned out that that the first glove was actually just sitting there in Bonk Rocks, and it was just kind of like, oh, okay. I guess it wasn't an AGA required, Dark World entry,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And
no, it worked out in the end, regardless. So
Yeah, and I ended up skipping, like right when I got those mitts in Thieves Town. I was like, man, I could be in go mode up on the mountain because there's so many things up on the mountain. And at the time, I think I needed like Ice Rod Hookshot. I didn't know about ether yet. So I checked Meyer, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go. I can clear desert really quickly. It's not going to save time to come back or not. So then I went up to the mountain, just full cleared it, hoping to hit go mode. And at that point, I was like, oh man, no go mode. Let's just start clearing dungeons.
Yep. I do think we need to go ahead and get wrapped up here, just so we can let the next crew get in here and let everyone else kind of get settled for this game 5. So, yeah, let's go ahead and round this out. Next game on the schedule is right here, game 5. Gamachu and Willard J. Bradley. Winner advances. That's all we really got to say. Stay tuned.
Get lucky, Gamma.
Remember, someone else that loves you and will love you too. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Bye.